In this video tutorial, we're going to build upon what we did in the previous videos, but this time we're going to be adding some more interesting movement and also looking at how we can output some color to our procedurally generated shapes in HLSL. This will all be done through Unreal 5 using custom nodes, and even though these objects right now that we see in this viewport look like they may be 3D or actual geometry, you can see that they almost have 3D-like shape to it. The reality is, they're really just shapes drawn with math in HLSL done through custom nodes in Unreal. So all of these are really just drawn on a single card. If I look at the wireframe, it's not much more than an illusion. So we'll take a look at how we can generate these types of objects and shapes in our materials using HLSL. So let's begin. To begin creating these animated shapes and color, we're going to start off with some simple HLSL, which should be somewhat familiar from the past lessons. I'm going to type this up in Visual Studio Code so we can see the syntax highlighting a little bit better and make that code a little bit more clear. So I'm going to start off with a float value called result, and it will just equal 0. That will be pretty much us outputting a solid value or empty value. It will be pretty much what creates our shape. So I'm going to do a for loop, and the for loop will be int I equals 0. I is less than number of sides of the shape, I++. And then inside that loop, we'll do another loop, another for loop, which will be how many copies of the shape to make. So I'll do int j equals 0. J is less than number of copies, j++. And that'll be our second for loop where it's nested. And then what we're going to do is define a variable called angle. So float angle, this is where it's kind of drawing these points in a circular shape. So I'll do I divided by number of sides times pi, or 3.14, times 2. And then finally we plot these points at this location. So we have to do a float 2 values, one for x location, one for y location, and that will equal the center plus j divided by number of copies you want to make times the radius of that circle that it will draw, and then float 2 for sine, 1 minus angle, and then also cosine, 1 minus angle. And that will draw a circular-like shape and plot our points in a circular-like fashion. And then we're going to add to our result. So it adds all these points together into one result, and it'll be position minus UV is less than our size. So size is the size of the point that we're going to plot in these locations. And then we're going to return the result. So that's really it. And I'm going to take all this code, pop it into Unreal. So I'm going to go back into Unreal, create a new material, just call it HLSL or something for now, and create a custom node. Paste this code in the custom node. Going to give me a bunch of errors. I'll connect it to this material as a masked opacity mask output. It's going to give me a bunch of errors because all those variables aren't defined. It doesn't know what end sides is, end copies, and all that stuff. So we need to define all those variables, all those inputs. So I have to create them. I have to create all those inputs. And to do that, we can add our inputs right here on the left. So I just click this add button. There's already one. So we could use that one for something like UV. So what are all the variables I need to add by looking at this code? There's UV. There's also position, center, end sides, end copies, radius, and size. Then I'll connect these all up. So UV goes to texture coordinates. Position has to be constant 2 vector for x and y. Where do you want to place this shape? 0.5, right in the center of our UV space. So if this is like our UV here, we want to plot it right in the middle. So 0.5 and 0.5. And then center will be 0.5, 0.5 as well. Number of sides, I'll just put a placeholder value of maybe 10. Number of copies, put a placeholder value of 10. Radius, maybe something like 0.2. And then size of each individual point plotted, maybe something really small like 0.01. There we go. Points plotted. There's our shape. Now we can change this shape. If I want more density to it, I could maybe plot 100 sides. And then it fills it in. Now it'd be nice if this was animated. So how can we animate this? Well, we can go back to our code and we can make some modifications. So this is where it draws a number of sides. So maybe if I change where it's drawing these points and have it animated based on time, it'll be able to make that circle kind of fill up and then go back down to the 0-degree angle. So what we can end up doing is modifying some of this code. So what I'm going to do is right in between here, I'm going to slide in some extra code that says sine time times 2. And that's going to end up modifying the angle of where it draws these points. And if I take that with that little adjustment here, and I go back into Unreal and update that code, what do we get now? We get an error because I need a time input, so I'll have to add another input called time, connect it to a node called time, and now we have our circle animated in like a angular fashion. It draws from the 1-degree angle all the way to the 360-degree angle and then back based on that sine curve. So that's pretty cool. Now, what if we want to make this look almost more 3D? But before even doing that, what if we want color outputted? Right now, I just have this one output, which is the mask of where these circles are drawn. So how can I do an output that adds some color to this? Well, what we can do is go back to our code and define a new variable, maybe something called out emissive, and that can be our color. And we can just make it a float 3, so 3 values, red, green, and blue, but we'll make it red, 0 green, 0 blue. Now we've defined this out emissive variable to be red. Now how can I output that in our code? Well, I can take this code, we already have it outputted here, I can paste that into Unreal, into my custom node, but how do I get that out emissive variable out of Unreal? And it says a problem right now. When I added that out emissive, it says there's nothing defined called out emissive. So what I can actually do is go down here and add an additional output and create an output or a variable called out emissive. And I'll make it a float 3. And now it's defined, and now it can output here, and I can put that into emissive color, and now we can have this red circle being outputted. And to take that a step further, I can animate that color, because instead of just outputting red, I could output something like sine and then time for the red value. And maybe the blue value will be 0.1 or some other sort of value I can add there. And that way it will be blue when the sine curve goes to 0. So I'll take something like that, put it back into Unreal. Let's see what we get. And now it's animated with color. Now to make this glow or have a bit more intensity, when we output our emissive value, we're just outputting a solid color right now. But our value from our return here, like our one that we're using for opacity mask, if I connect that to emissive, it actually has some values to it. If I look in here to auto off and I just look, they kind of have a bit of an overlap effect where when they're drawn on top of each other, they almost give this 3D effect or stacking effect. So what I'm going to do is I'll put this back to how it was without this modified exposure. Put it back to auto. What I'm going to do is go back to our code, and instead of just outputting the color, I'm going to output, for the out emissive, I'm going to output our color multiplied by a result. And by doing that, it will kind of almost add a bit of a glow. And if I go back to Unreal and update that code, Let's see what we get now. I'll connect out emissive to emissive. Now we get something that looks almost more 3D because it brings that stacking effect into the color. And then to take this a step further and add some more interesting animation that really helps it feel more 3D, what we could end up doing is jumping back to our code and modifying the positions of where these points are plotted. Instead of just having sine 1 minus angle and cosine 1 minus angle, maybe what I can do is add minus sine time to both of them. And this is going to offset where these points are drawn and give the illusion of 3D. Much like you would draw a 3D shape on 2D paper, you would just change where your lines are drawn to give the illusion of perspective. That's what we're doing here using minus sine time on both X and Y. So with that updated code, and I throw that into Unreal, let's check out what we get now. So now we get almost a feeling of this cone being tilted or animated along its tip or end point here. And if I increase the number of copies that we do, so instead of 10, I put that up a bit more to fill in all those gaps, maybe 25. Now it really starts to feel like a 3D shape. Or maybe I up the size of the points that are drawn. Starts to feel like a more volume like shape. So you can get a lot of cool adjustments and flexibility out of this. And you can just modify those cosine, sine curves to create different types of animation. So it's really easy to kind of get creative with it. You can look at the math behind it, or you can just play around and you can create all kinds of neat, interesting movement on your plotted points or plotted shapes. And now we can output things like emissive. You could output other things as well, like specular roughness if you wanted to. All you need to do is create a variable and add it to the output. And you can feed whatever data you want into it and then pipe it into other nodes or pipe it into your material. So it's really flexible, and now that we know how to kind of do those two things, we're able to produce much more complex results. Now, to wrap up this video, even though these shapes do feel like they have some sort of volume or 3D aspect to them, they're still really just cards, and they're still really just an illusion of 3D drawn on a 2D surface. In our next video following this, we're kind of leaving 2D and we're going to start going into more how we can actually draw shapes that seem to be 3D. You can rotate around them. They look like an object, they look like a 3D model, but they're not. They'll be done fully through shaders or HLSL in Unreal. And to do that, we're going to use a method called ray marching. So that's what we're going to be going into in the following videos. We're going to start moving away from 2D and doing more complex things using HSL in Unreal. But if you found this video helpful and you learned something new, make sure to like, subscribe, press the bell button to get notifications. And if you're part of the Patreon, which has a link in the description below, you'll also get the PDF for this lesson, which goes over pretty much everything we did in this video, but in a little bit more detail, and is a good way of referencing back for when you forget something or you just want to quickly refresh your mind about something. So check that out if you haven't. But otherwise, we're going to start moving into how we can start creating a ray marcher in HLSL in Unreal using custom nodes in our next video.